How old are your two sons, you said, Dawn? How old are they?
Two sons. I've got one 21 nearly and one nearly 30.
Nearly oh, great.
Yeah,
okay,
so
there's
they're grown
up. And you think
up.
this would have been a good thing for them?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because without sounding disrespectful to them, they're more brawn than brains.
Let's hope they're not watching, all right?
Just being truthful, sorry. Okay. So, yes, they would have benefited.
No, actually, it's really, really nice to hear your reflection. So, look, I've been talking to people across the country about this since we made the announcement, and I'm really excited about this. Let me just tell you a little bit why. Because I have two young girls. They're a bit younger than your boys. They're 11 and 13, and I'm definitely not going to talk about them in front of all these cameras, so I don't get in trouble later. But, you know, and I've been talking to a lot of people, actually, since the time I've had this job, about what can we do to really transform our country for the better. And if I think about national service, I think for young people, as you said, doing something that provides them with skills and opportunities is going to be really transformational for their lives, right? And all the things that you said, some structure, some rules, a sense of belonging and identity. And actually, I believe service gives you purpose. And I think it will be really brilliant for young people to have this rite of passage that they go through with everything that it teaches them and just keeps them out of trouble. I talk to so many parents worried about what their kids are doing in the evenings, at the weekends, getting into, you know, and we also see all the stories. So I think this will be wonderful for young people, but I also think it'll be great for our country. And I think all of us have felt like our society could do with being more cohesive, right? Reminding us all that we're all on the same side, bringing us together. And this will do that. It will foster that culture of service and make our society more cohesive. But it also, in a very uncertain time, will make our country more safe. So in years to come, when we have thousands and thousands of people who have been trained in things that are practically helpful for our country's resilience or our security. And remember, there's a choice. So if people want to, they can do the military component of this, but it will be very competitive and selective. And for everyone else, there'll be civic roles, whether it's search and rescue, first aid, lifeboats, you know, helping elderly people. But all of these things will just contribute to our country's resilience and our security. So I think it's going to be fantastic. It will become a rite of passage, an important part of who we are as a nation. And actually, everywhere I've been going, people have wanted to talk to me about it, and they've said what you said. Actually, and funnily enough, the question I thought I get a lot of people saying, oh, I don't think I do want to do this, or my kids don't want to do this. I've heard exactly what you said. They said, well, my kids are a bit older. Can they still go back and do it, yeah. Right? Or as you said, can we extend it to different groups who might benefit from it, which I think is a really good sign that we're onto something. And the important thing to leave you with, right, whatever you might think of this idea, and not all of you, I'm sure, will agree with it, I hope you can see that it is bold, right, that it is potentially transformational for our country, and that's what we're about, right? Because we're in a very important time, right? This is not a time for half measures, right? We've built all this stability, we've got through the hard times, we've got to look to the future now, and I want to deliver for all of you a more secure future, for your families, for our country. We're not going to do that unless we're prepared to take bold action, if we've got a clear plan. And this is an example of exactly that. And that's why I'm really excited for what it can do for our country. And I'm glad that you're glad you love it, Dawn. Thank you. Right, who's next? Right, yes, sir, do you have a question? Oh, yes, yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Right, there was someone over here.
Hello, Prime Minister. I'm Keith Lockett's #1 forklift driver.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, why can't we have a bank holiday for England? St. George's Day.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Look, it's fair enough. I do get asked this a lot. And look, I think we all love to have days off, right? Let's be honest. I would definitely love a day off now and then. I can tell you that. But look, there's lots of other things that come along with bank holidays and the impact they have, which we need to take into account. But the thing that you touched on, though, which is important, is look, taking a moment to celebrate and be proud of who we are and our country. And that is an incredible thing. And whether we need bank holiday for that is a separate thing. But we should never be ashamed to be proud of our identity, of who we are as a country. And actually, what we've seen over the last several months in particular is, sadly, there are forces who are trying to divide us, right? Who are trying to emphasize all the differences. And I think that's sad, and it's wrong, right? And there are people who are trying to say, no, you can't believe this, and you should be ashamed of this part of our history and our past. And I say that that's wrong, right? Of course, no country is perfect, but I'm enormously proud of what our country has done for everyone, not just here, but around the world. The values that we stand for are something that we can all be extraordinarily proud of. And it's not just on a bank holiday, it's every day that we should be proud of that. And I'm living proof of what our country does. Look what it's done, like a country that welcomed my family here, right? My grandparents here, from halfway around the world, gave them the chance to work hard, said to them, look, if you integrate and put in, we'll provide the opportunities for you to succeed. That's what my parents did, that's what my grandparents did, and I'm standing here talking to you now. I really don't think my story is going to be that possible in pretty much any other country in the world. Right? So I'm enormously proud of what we stand for. I'm enormously proud of what we've achieved, but I'm also enormously excited about what we can do in the future, and that's why this election is so important. There is so much at stake. Right? There are so many challenges and threats, and I'm the person that can deliver that secure future for all of you because I'm prepared to do the big things. I've got a set of beliefs and values and convictions I'm prepared to tell you about, not keep chopping and changing. Because in today's world, if you don't know what you believe, if you don't stand for anything, then I can't stand up for all of you, right? And that's what the other guy's about, but I'm not like that. Right? I'm not going to say you always agree with everything I say, but I do believe in some things. I'm going to work hard for you and deliver a secure future for you and your family, and one where you can be really proud of everything we're doing. All right, good. Have we got time for one more? One more. Right, who have we got? Who have we got? Yes. Oh, where were we? Jonathan? Where did you see? No? Yes, go for it.
So mine sort of follows on from Dawn's, really. So with the national service stuff, do you then have a plan to look after people in the future when they've then left the forces? So obviously with the veterans, you have something, because you're going to have a lot more.
You do, yeah. Look, we're really, I don't know, are there any veterans in the audience here today? Yeah? Oh, you are yourself. Where did you serve?
So I joined at 16 and I was attached to the Irish Guards, AGC.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for your service. So one of the things I really believe, and we talk about, one of the things that it is to be British, is that I believe, as all of you do, for people who work hard all their lives and put in, then we need to make sure that they have the dignity they deserve when they're finished, right? And that's why I've really protected pensions and the triple lock. And actually, you've seen our announcement today with Triple Lock Plus, where we're going to raise the threshold, make sure that pensioners get a tax cut and they will never pay tax on the state pension, as well as a triple lock going up, right? So those of you who are thinking about the future or thinking about your parents under the Labour, the potential future Labour government, pensioners will start paying tax. That will not happen under us. But the other way to do that is to make sure that this is the best country in the world to be a veteran. And that's something that I set out when I became Prime Minister. For the first time, we've got a minister in Cabinet. So there's a minister called Johnny Mercer. He's the Veterans Minister. And for the first time, he sits around the Cabinet table, because it's that important to me. And there's lots of things I could talk to you about, making sure that veterans get the healthcare they need, whether we've got Op Courage, Op Fortitude, making sure that they get the help with housing that they need. And then, as you said, making sure when they leave the services, they're getting the support they need. An event I did recently was making sure we help veterans get into fantastic jobs. Because as you know, you've got so many skills and talents and experience that most other people will not have. Right? And we need to make sure that actually the best business decision, not an act of charity, the best business decision that any business can make is to hire a veteran. Right? That's what I believe. And in my first budget as Chancellor, I think we cut the employment taxes for businesses that are taking on a veteran to make it easier, as well as making sure that we support you and your colleagues as you lead the services. So thank you for your service. I will not stop until this is unequivocally the best place in the world to be a veteran. You've done an enormous amount for our country, and we owe it to look after you when you leave. All right. Good. All right. Look, thanks very much for having me. I really appreciate your support. Thanks for your support for Jonathan. And I'm going to get back to very badly painting some more plates, I think. So, good. All right. Bye.